Chelsea Football Club over the last few years has been one of the biggest teams in England. Now, I know you know about their struggles, but you also have to know about them going to Champions League finals, winning Champions League, and doing very well in European football. This is a team that really has good history over the last 20 years. So without a doubt, watching this team struggle now, we're all very much confused because it's a team that's competed for a lot of different competitions over the last years. But the few past couple years has been a massive struggle for the London side. Today, we're going to fix Chelsea Football Club, at least I hope we're going to, with the signings that they've made in real life. So as you guys can see, this is the starting 11 that played their first game of the Premier League against Manchester City. They lost 2-0, but if I'm being honest with you, if you look at possession, if you look at the stats, it was kind of a close game on paper. But if you watch the football match, you saw that Chelsea didn't really have that much of a structure to them. And one thing that really caught my eye is Enzo Fernandez, who recently got to Chelsea just like a year or 2 years ago. It was very recent during the World Cup, was the captain of this football club already. And that's just showing you how many new faces are around, how there's not like the Lampard or the Terry, that real like leader of Chelsea Football Club. There's not one there. Enzo was captaining the team after just being there for a few years. And let's not forget, Enzo Fernandez is a baby still. He's still a very young player. And although we look at this starting 11 on paper, it doesn't look that bad. But when you start looking at players that they've signed or they really want to sign, it starts to become very confusing. For example, they brought in the Leicester City midfielder that you guys see right here, Hall. They just brought in Joao Felix for like 50 million plus 10, very big deal. They also signed Neto, the Portuguese winger from Wolves, for like 60 million, big signing. And then they also are very heavily linked with Ocean Man, I always call him Ocean Man. They're very linked with the Napoli striker, heavily linked, and they really want him. But I start to think to myself, where are they going to play Joao Felix? Where are they going to play Neto? Where are they going to play Ocean Man? Where are you going to play Nkunku? How are you going to make this all work? I don't know. By the way, there's still Sterling, who didn't get the start or didn't even get called to the game against Man City. That was very confusing. So a lot of people are thinking that Sterling's on his way out. Look, let's be honest. The team has great players, great talent, talented players. But there feels like there's no foundation and no structure. And it feels like anyone who goes to Chelsea Football Club right now is going there in a way where there is no plan for them. Today, we're going to try to put a plan in place for this team to succeed the best way possible. The first thing I want to do is find a formation where Joao Felix will most be successful, where he can really dominate the way he did once upon a time at Benfica, because people need to stop signing him and playing him on the wing. He is more of a player who plays behind a striker. So let's find a formation where he fits. By the way, I do want to let you guys know, and I'm being 100% serious, there's also players that are missing from this starting 11 that are at Chelsea that aren't in the game or something like that, right? They're maybe just not in the game in FC24 this season. But this is what I've come up with. Cole Palmer being on the right, the new Leicester signing in the midfield, if you do want to do that, or we could bring this back a little bit and try to see if I can make him a defensive mid, which you really can't, which is kind of annoying. So Caicedo's not really going to work here. So we'll go with the Leicester man. We got Enzo. We got Joao Felix playing the center forward behind the striker. We got Ocean Man at striker. We got Nkunku as a left mid, which he doesn't, but we got him there. We got Palmer as a right mid. And in the back, obviously, Reece James being healthy, he's going to play. The Spanish beast is going to be on the left. Then Fofana, that's the center back duos, and Sanchez in goal. That would kind of be what I think is the best way to set this team up. But then I look and I go, where does Neto play? How do you get Neto into this team? And does Felix get playing time? Because will it be Palmer behind the keeper and then Neto going on the wing? That's another possibility. Or will it be Palmer and Neto on the wing with Nkunku behind Ocean Man and Joao Felix doesn't see playing time? I'm not sure. I'm confused with this Chelsea lineup because I feel like they keep buying players for the same exact position over and over and over. By the way, there's still Mudryk, there's still Sterling, there's still Jackson, there's still a lot of great players that are missing. So that's interesting. I'm gonna mess around with development, try to change some players to positions they can play. Caicedo to make him a center mid will take 75 weeks, which is just crazy. That's a very long time. I want to change Neto to actually be a center mid as well. So, or not on the center mid, but a right mid. That's going to take 69 weeks. That's crazy. It's a very long time. but I'm going to have to do it because I think that's the formation we'll be in. And then also I want to change Nkunku to now be able to play the wing with what they kind of did with him in the last game. And that will only take 4 weeks. So that's not bad. We'll set that up. Now listen, do I think this Chelsea Football Club is doomed? No, man. I think they have a bright future with a lot of talented players, and I think they're gonna have success 100%. It's just about a manager really finding a good, solid formation, a foundation, and also bringing positivity into that locker room and helping these kids succeed because a lot of them are very young players. Now we're at the first month, and they're gonna open up against Liverpool, West Ham. This is gonna be a tough month. But the formation we're in, I believe they will succeed. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. If we mess up, we'll try a different formation. We'll figure it out. But I will see you guys on the 31st when the transfer window closes, and we'll see how Chelsea Football Club does in the first month of the season. Honestly, it was a great month up until the last game on the 26th. They beat West Ham. They tied Liverpool. They won their cup game, but they dropped points in the Premier League. And that is very disappointing. That's a game they should have won. With that being said, I want to check on the stats and see what's taking place here. Cole Palmer played 4 games, so did Enzo. Nkunku played all 4 games, so did Joao Felix. Osimhen played all 4 games as well. Reece James played 3. The defense got changed around a lot, as you guys can see. Sterling got some playing time as well. When it comes to what took place and what went wrong, let's find out. The top goal scorers, Nkunku with 2, very nice. And then the Osimhen with 1 and Joao Felix with 1. That's not good as they're the forwards, okay? Then we go to the assists. Reece James with 1, Palmer with 1, Enzo with 1. That's not bad. Let's give it time. Let's continue. Let's hope that this turns into absolute dubs across the board. Again, not a bad result for Chelsea. I think we're looking to get top 4 with this club. Not a bad month. Hopefully it continues. The next month coming up is going to be the month of September where they'll play Forest and Aston Villa and then a cup game. I want to see a lot of W's here. Let's do this. One thing that scares me is this is another cup win, but it happens on penalties. That's not good for this club. We need to be winning and winning by more goals. When I let's see the Aston Villa game, great. The Forest game was great. Everything was fine. The Villa game, they dropped points, but remember, Villa is a very strong team. So after 2 months now, Chelsea still has not lost a football match, which is nice. They're in the top 5. They have tied 2 games, but they're only 5 points away from first place, 3 points off of Manchester United, 2 points off of City, tied with Crystal Palace. This is not bad. This is where Chelsea Football Club needs to be. I think every Chelsea fan in the world would be extremely happy if after 2 months of the season, they're fighting for top 4 and really competing for the league. When we look at who's playing, Sanchez and Palmer, Enzo the most used, also Nkunku. Love to see Joao Felix and Osimhen getting a lot of playing time. The back line kind of getting switched around a lot. We don't like that. That's just the way EA Sports does it. We got Osimhen with 5. We got Palmer with 2. We got 2 assists from Palmer as well. Nkunku with 2, Felix with 2. I'm going to give Felix 1 more month. If he doesn't start playing better, I'm benching him. Straight up, there's no time for that. I need him to step up. I can already see something that would be way better. So you better step up, Joao Felix. The calendar has Fulham, has Arsenal, and has the Bees. This could easily be the make or break. I know it's very early in the season, but this is going to determine what we do, man. In October, it's huge right now. We need big results, huge results. Again, Felix, if you don't turn it around, you're getting benched. My room just went so blue. We're not happy. We're not sad. We're kind of just, they tie 2 games. They win a game. They lose to Arsenal. Losing to Arsenal makes sense. You can't be tying those 2 games right there. We're going to go ahead real quick and look at the calendar. And when we look at the calendar, look at the standings, we are still in 5th place. We're 2 points behind Spurs, a few points behind Manchester United. This is still a very savable season for Chelsea. Everything is fine. Now it's going to be make or break time for Joao Felix because I don't like what I've been seeing from him, and there's no time to make Joao Felix work. We need to win games. 12 games for everybody. Joao Felix still with only 2 goals. He's getting benched. Nkunku has 2. 1 assist for Nkunku. Palmer has 4 with 2 assists. Osimhen has 7. And that's kind of where it stands. Sterling has more goals off the bench than Joao Felix does starting. I don't know if the game's actually going to let this work. But what I was thinking, if I'm being 100% honest with you, is allowing Sterling to run the left, Palmer to run the right, and now putting Nkunku behind Osimhen. That is where my head is. Again, I love Joao Felix. He's one of my favorite players in all of world football. I'm a Benfica fan. He came from Benfica. I love him very, very much. But the truth is, he's not providing what the football club needs. And this is not the Joao Felix story. This is the Chelsea story. So with that being said, I'm going to see how fast I can get Nkunku back to playing the center forward position, because as I said many times, it's about winning. When we look at this and I'm scrolling through players, is it not crazy how many players Chelsea has at their football club? And the thing that's the most surprising to me is this is not all of them. There's so many that are not in the game, and I think to myself, how do you make this all work? If you're the manager, how do you make every player there feel important or feel special? Or, man, it's a lot of players you got to work with. 4 weeks for Nkunku to become a center forward, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're taking him back to the center forward position. It's the month of November, and this has to be the scariest month ever. 2 games against Spurs, 1 game against Newcastle, 1 game against City. This could go really bad very quick. Not a bad month. They beat Spurs to stay alive in the Energy Cup. They didn't lose to Spurs in the Premier League, but they beat Newcastle and City. That, for me, lads, is very, like, that's very successful. Like, extremely successful month, except for the Spurs result in the league, but that's okay. We quickly checked this out, and Joao Felix remained getting playing time, and he actually stepped up with 4 goals and 3 assists. And Nkunku, on the other hand, has 4 goals and 2 assists. Palmer with 4 goals and 2 assists, and Osimhen with 8. Now, I'm a little bit shocked because I literally was going to bench Joao Felix, and I didn't yet to wait until Nkunku became a center forward, and it worked out, and Felix started scoring. So I think I'm going to allow Felix to get a little bit more playing time. I'm going to give him 1 more month, and if he continues, we'll keep it going like this. If not, then we'll make Nkunku the center forward and go from there. With that being said, there's Brighton, there's Manchester United, there's City, there's a Forest game, there's Wolves, there's Crystal Palace. Oh man, December is packed. But before we go into December, we must see where the table stands at the moment. Chelsea remains in 5th place, 4 points away from 4th, and 5 points away from 3rd. This is still manageable if they can have a humongous December. A little bit tough because Chelsea does go out of the Energy Cup. But they tied to Brighton and tied to Manchester United. But then after that, it was win, 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 win in the Premier League. Just wins across the board. Had they beat Forest in the Energy Cup, they would be in such a great position, but that didn't happen. We'll check really quickly where they are in the Premier League now with all those great results. And they jumped Manchester United. They are officially in 4th place, and they are 3 points away from 3rd place and a bit further away from City. But lads, if Chelsea Football Club can end in 3rd place with the team they have right now, that would be fantastic because, let's be honest, all of us being football fans know that this Chelsea team is going to be strong in the future because their players are players that are very young still and they're going to develop into studs. But if they can get great results while they're developing players, that's a big deal. Enzo has 24 games. Felix has 24 games. Osimhen 24. Palmer with 23. And I'm going to be honest, lads, Joao Felix has really seemed to step up massively. Osimhen with 14. Joao Felix with 10. 5 assists for Joao Felix. 2 for Osimhen. My man Nkunku picked up 3 and 6. And Palmer with 4 and 2. But then after that, no one really giving a lot except for Enzo with 4 and 6. Enzo, top assist guy at Chelsea Football Club. Joao Felix has stepped up massively since I made Nkunku a center forward. Very nice to see for him. We'll keep him in that position for now. But a lot of work still to do for the London Blues. What a beautiful December. They tied the first FA Cup game. They beat Fulham. The second FA Cup game, they win 3-0. Massive win. They then win in the Premier League, and then they tied to Liverpool in the last game of the month. With that being said, let's talk about it. Appearances, Sanchez, Enzo, and Joao Felix. By the way, another few games for Joao Felix, another 3 goals, 6 assists, 16 goals for Osimhen, 3 assists for him, 7 and 7 for Nkunku, 6 and 2 for Palmer, 4 and 1 for Reece James. The Leicester midfielder getting involved with 2 goals, Enzo with an assist and 2 goals. And by the way, just to let you know, my boy Joao Felix is now chasing Nkunku and Enzo to be the top assist guy here at Chelsea. What a turn of events for Joao Felix. He was about to get benched and he turned it all around. The Premier League, how does it stand right now? Chelsea has 43 points, Spurs have 45. Nothing really changed there, still 2 points behind. City is going crazy, 7 points behind them. Right now, it's all about getting Chelsea into the top 3. Look, top 4 is amazing, Champions League football, but top 3, I think the Chelsea fans will be very excited about that. Very hard February. Wolves, Crystal Palace, City once again, and Spurs. This is not gonna be easy. You can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't. They started the month off fantastic, right? And then they lose to City and they lose to Spurs, which is a little bit annoying. That's gonna hurt their chances of top 3 massively because they were chasing Spurs. They are now in 5th place and they're now 2 points away from top 3. Arsenal's cooking, Spurs are cooking, but they're still top 5, so there's still a chance for them. But those 2 results there really hurt them in a negative way, especially Spurs because they jumped them. So hopefully they can start to bounce back with a lot of wins and get themselves into that top 3 spot. Again, only 2 points away from top 3. That's nothing. After losing to City, after losing to Spurs, they beat Aston Villa, continuing in the FA Cup. They then beat the Bees. They then beat Newcastle. They then beat Bolton to continue in the FA Cup. And then they win their last game on the 30th, going into the month of April. 6 games remaining. Is this the final, lads? What game is this? No. That's not the final, right? That can't be the... Oh, okay. No. There's 2 months left. I was thinking it was almost over. There's 5 games there, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 games remaining in the Premier League. They just went crazy and won a lot of games, and Chelsea's now in 3rd place. Chelsea is now in 3rd place by only 1 point, though. There's still a lot to go here. A lot to go. 1 point clear of Arsenal. Liverpool having a great City on their way. Liverpool having a great season. City on their way to another trophy. I mean, that's just the way it is. We know how that's gonna go. And when we go to look at what's happening in stats wise, Sanchez, Enzo, and Joao Felix, the most used player. Osimhen started scoring, boys. Oh my goodness. 26 goals for Osimhen with 5 assists. 16 goals for Joao Felix with 7 assists. He hasn't really done much that month, if I'm being honest. Nkunku with 3 and 8. Palmer with 6 and 4. Reece James with 4 and 1. Enzo with 11 and 3. The top assist guy here at Chelsea is going to be Enzo, then Nkunku, then Joao Felix, then Osimhen. Not bad, yo. The next month is a huge one. I hope Chelsea can win some games. The FA Cup, we had to talk about it. Liverpool is in the chill. Liverpool is in the semifinals. We would say that they're supposed to win that game. And Chelsea are in the semifinals against Forest, where you would hope they win that game. But Chelsea is 1 game away from battling for silverware once again. That's humongous. Let's talk about the month of April. They beat Manchester United. They tie a game. They beat Everton. They beat Forest to make the final of the FA Cup. They get smacked by Liverpool and they tie to Aston Villa. I'm expecting to be somewhere in the top 5, hopefully. Top 4. They're still top 4, which means that's Champions League football still, right, lads? That's ending 3rd and 4th. That's Champions League football, right? I'm pretty sure that's Champions League football. That's honestly not bad. If Chelsea can end top 4 and actually win the FA Cup, this could be a very nice bounce back season for Chelsea Football Club. A very nice bounce back season. But there's still 1 more month to go. Hopefully it's a great one. We got to check on the stats. Has my boy Joao Felix picked back up? Yes or no? Here we go. Sanchez, Enzo, Nkunku, Osimhen, and Joao Felix getting the most playing time. Joao Felix only has 17 goals, so he hasn't really put up that many goals. Still, 17 is really good for a center forward. With 11 assists, very, very nice. Nkunku with 14 and 8, Enzo with 12 assists. So, Joao Felix is now the 2nd best assist person at Chelsea. Enzo number 1, Nkunku number 8, Osimhen 6, and Palmer 4. Not bad at all for Joao Felix, having a really nice campaign. Chelsea end off the season very strong, beating West Ham, beating Forest, beating Brighton, and they tied the very last game, which I'm hoping doesn't hurt them too bad. Hopefully they're still in the top 4. Let's find out really quickly. Please be in the top 4. Premier League, wow, they didn't get 1st place because of 1 point. Had they won the last game of the season, they would be in 3rd place. City wins the league, Liverpool comes 2nd, Arsenal comes 3rd, Chelsea comes 4th. Honestly, I applaud Chelsea for this. This is a very, very, very good campaign for Chelsea. If they can get silverware against Liverpool, this would be a ginormous bounce back season for the London side, for the Blues from London. It would be huge. And somehow, some way, they pull it off. I wish I could go back and see who scored the goal. I really wish. Can you not go back? I wish you could go back and see who scored the goal. Chelsea is going to win the FA Cup, lads. Chelsea just won the FA Cup. They've won silverware for the first time in a while now. They got top 4 in the Premier League, which, again, some Arsenal fans, some Chelsea fans will say that's bad. Personally, I think that's a really, really good bounce back. In my opinion, I think that's good. The FA Cup obviously goes to them, what you just saw. I want to be honest with you, they got extremely lucky. In the semifinals, they played a game that they should win. In the round of 16, they played a game that they should win. In the round of the 5th round, they played a game that they should win. Who do they play here? Aston Villa. So when you look at it, it's not really a great run for them, but they did have to beat a great team like Liverpool at the end, and they did that. But very, very, very lucky at the end of the day. And I want to talk about something really quickly. First of all, we'll check the stats before I say what I'm going to say. Sanchez, Osimhen, Enzo, Nkunku, and Joao Felix and Palmer were the guys who got the most playing time. Top goal scorer, obviously, Osimhen with 30. Joao Felix ends with 21 and 12 assists. Nkunku with 14 and 9. 6 and 12 for Enzo, and 7 and 6 for Palmer. Lads, Joao Felix gets the second best assist, tied on assists, and 21 goals. What a season for him, but what a season for Osimhen. 36 contributions. With that being said, this team is not the fun Chelsea team. This is not the team that people are going to look at. By the way, who was the center back that was playing? There has to, I'm not sure. It must Fofana. Colwell was the center back playing. You could see he's happy. So this is the team that was starting every single game. As you can see, these players down here were upset. They weren't getting playing time. This isn't the team that, like, you pay $100 million for Caicedo when he didn't play. But Chelsea's going to have to make decisions like this. It doesn't matter if you paid $100 million for Enzo. It doesn't matter if you paid $100 million for Caicedo. It doesn't matter if you pay $60 million for Neto. You need to put the best players out there that are going to succeed in the best positions possible for them. I put Joao Felix where I know he plays the best. I got really lucky for Nkunku to be good on the wing. I would have never done that, but I saw Chelsea did it against City this past weekend. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try that. So with it being said, again, you're not playing the most money players. You're playing what you think is going to give you the most success. And I thought Felix behind Osimhen would give the most success. Enzo in the midfield with the Leicester man, I thought would give the most success without Caicedo being in there, and Sterling not out there, and Nkunku instead. So again, do I think this is the best lineup player for player? No shot. I think that Nkunku behind Osimhen is probably better. But I promise you one thing. If Chelsea goes and puts Joao Felix out on the wings and tries to get the best out of Joao Felix from him, the wing positions, it's not going to work. He plays best when he's in behind a striker, kind of being like a Kaká, that type. I'm not saying he's him. I'm just saying that type. When he played at Benfica, he played behind Jonas, and it's when he had his most success in his career. He is a player that plays behind a very good number 9, and he will make the number 9 better. I promise you that. I hope you guys enjoyed this little fixing rebuild. Again, I didn't get to sign nobody. I just put my tactics, my formation, kind of went from there. 4th place, not the best, but hey, they're back in the top 4 and they're back in the Champions League, and also a beautiful FA Cup, which is a little cherry on top, because 4th place, I would have taken that when this all started. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Booyah, we out of here.